Hello. Alright, so we got some stuff to talk about. I'm gonna show you the things that are important to me so far. Number one, let's talk about this. I was kind of hoping I would be wrong about my assessment of how they would buff him. But it seems I was correct. In fact, the concentration changes don't seem that drastic to me. So we're gonna show off a few of the things that are interesting for you. Depending on how far he is, I think is what dictates how much concentration it uses. You can see it burns through it at a distance, right? Like this. It burns through it, right? The problem is with this change though, this does not necessarily fix the guard crush zoning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6, and you don't run out. So you can still checkmate people when you have positive and 100 meter. The other thing they changed though was they made it so if you're close, you can see it's not as fast. Again, it doesn't matter as much because you're not going to just sit in stance like this. It just means you actually use less concentration consistently. That means if you start offense off of any knockdown that enables you into concentration, you can go from 0 meter to essentially killing them in the block string. You have to do something now. You'll never be able to like just get out. Right. So if they just hold FD, this is not as bad. But if they have meter, then this is a problem still. Right? If you do not have FD, or if you don't have any reversal, then you have to gamble against him as soon as he starts, because there's no reason to wait. But there's another problem, right? If this becomes established, right, what they're gonna start doing is start doing fake shit like this. So like, you can't just hold down back. This doesn't really fix the problem. Right? And again, if they do not FD at all, once you get to this point, you have lost. You cannot win. Because like then he doesn't even need to do he doesn't need to leave any gaps, right? He can just keep doing it over and over again. A lot of people, like, justifiably will complain about a character, but they don't always know what to complain about. So like, zoning was clearly their focus, but even if Happy Chaos zoning was identical, there's not much reason to zone anymore, because this is so powerful. This is off a 2D. Again, you do not need meter. That was with 50 meter. I'm gonna show you if you have 0 meter at all. Even like, let's, from 0, you get the point, right? So that's one thing. So basically, Happy Chaos, I would estimate, is probably as strong, if not even, again, they nerfed his zoning, he'd probably still, like, if they nerf it harder, he'd probably still be better. But it doesn't really feel like they hit his zoning as hard. It'll probably help in some matchups for how much space it gives you, but like, just like run at them. Just run at them, press 2D, if you knock them down, you go Leo mode. Yeah, that was kind of a bad change, all things considered. We're not even considering roll. Which is even better. This is so fast. So one reason why it wasn't super good before was because you could FD it, you would never cross up. Now, depending on what move you do, it'll cross up or not. So they've already made this better. For the roll, you'll have to training mode what moves go into what and how long he delays it, because that is also a factor. He doesn't have an infinite. You can interrupt this. It's just bad RPM, right? So like, let me give you some examples. You cannot mash in between this. Let's get this out of the way. You cannot mash. Don't try it. Your options are you do a DP, which can be baited. You can backdash, but if he has any sort of like minor execution error, you will get hit. If you're off by like 2 or 3 frames, then this will catch their backdash unless they're like a heavy character. You can throw between 5k, 6k. You can 6p between 5k, 6s. If you go for throw against 5k, 6s, you get counter hit. If you try to 6p against 6k, you die. Then changes they made like to like clone, like you can see clone does a decent chunk, like this is a good amount of health, but these things don't quite matter. Like curse doesn't really matter because again guard curse zoning is still a thing, so I mean you don't need it as badly. Like curse like doesn't give you anything outside the first shot really. That's really it. You basically do not want to use this if you have low health now, which is like a nice change. The thing is, these changes are not very effective against high-level Happy Chaos. These are like the things that like lower levels Happy Chaos would abuse to crutch, like either on like lack of execution or something like that. And that's okay. But basically that means that Happy Chaos at high level is going to be harder to deal with, but probably easier at lower levels, which like, you know, some people will like that. But yeah, I would say he's been buffed. And considering like I put a lot of stock into how you can defend and how you can fight as like in this game, and I would say like even with that in mind, he's probably like the strongest character so far, and assuming that people don't find something better, because before you still had the chance of dying if you interact with them, but now it's like you 2D and they have like it's like you're about to win. If you get 2D into focus, you are actually like seconds away from winning. That's basically how it is. So yeah, one thing I want to talk about is Soul. There are so many Soul Doomers. So many Soul Doomers. There were so fucking many of them, and he's fucking fine. Someone, it was Mame. Mame like found a combo that's literally just VV over and over again, and it kills it kills Millia. So weird doing this. I've never done HPB into. Wow, what the fuck? That did so much damage on its own. Wait a second. What the fuck? How did that do so much damage? Wait. They really, oh my fucking god, I did not realize how much of an impact that would be. This is just, this is no risk. Look at this shit. That is so much damage. They actually increased the damage in this game. What the fuck is wrong with them? And then yeah, if you add risk, let's see like, what's this combo like with like 10 risk? Okay, if you went into my chat and complained about this character, quit the game for a week. Please, I beg of you. Just 1 week. 1 week, okay? Please, 1 week. Let's see. Oh my fucking god. This shit is not a joke. Maybe damage does matter in this version more than I thought. Sorry, Zom. Oh my god, it really is off anything. What the fuck is this? Why does this do so much damage? Why do they make... This has to be bugged. There's no way this is intentional. I like refuse to accept it. This is like even beyond an Arxis patch. Like, this is bad even for Arxis. Alright, well, Soul's fine. Don't worry about him. He's fine. I was gonna show off something because I was like, oh, he's just like funny little combo. Funny little combo, right? This shit turned out a lot different than I expected. His win condition's a lot more direct, huh? It's really just get 50 meter and that's it, huh? Wait, does that kill without the wall too? That is no risk. That is fucking crazy. I don't think he's ever had a touch of death, even in 1.0 without risk, right? Like he's always needed risk. That is fucking awesome. Like even if you just wanted to go for something more stable, like even that route, it's just like it's for no risk and 50 meter. I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy. You know, I've seen a lot of people be like, I'm really sad about 5k 6s. This, because this doesn't work anymore, right? Well, it works on counter hit, but not on second hit counter hit. It works, I should say. But to be honest, like 5k 2d is like better in almost every way. I ended up when I played Soul last, like when I played against like Dara and Gobo, they had like such good answers for like RPSing around 6s that like there was no point to even use 6s anyways. Well, looks like he's gonna be a lot better as a hit confirm character. His damage is a lot higher, it looks like. So like, to be honest, that change would be more like that's everyone, right? So like I would probably guess like the general damage of the game is high. It is off RC, but it just means like essentially Soul may not be able to like force as much stuff on offense, but his neutral is more important. That's the kind of guess I'm gonna have here. But frankly, like if damage is the concern, don't worry about it. You get the point. So I know a lot of people wanted me to talk about Testament, right? Testament is pretty good now. I thought they were pretty good before, but honestly, these changes may make them like almost maybe too good. So like the only weakness I felt they had was they got outclassed at some ranges by, you know, the top tiers, which I mean, that's like, you know, it's to be expected. It's not a matter of their strength, it's more like the top tier strength. But one thing that matters a lot is, one, the RC change helps. So like, let's say you get a hit like this. You can always hit confirm into this now, right? As a result, you're always going to be able to, you're almost always going to be able to get the wall, right? Or wall break. One, they gain meter very fast. They gain meter faster than I think every other character in the game because of how they work. The other thing is that they changed also how you can combo into things. So let me give you an example. If you watched me play Testament before, you know I'd end in something like this, right? And you'd have to link 5H to do it. But now all you have to do, if you ever want damage, you can get 6H as an ender, which is like, this is a big difference. One, this means they get combos at more areas. Like they can't, there was some situations where you could not get a wall break from a far distance, so they can choose high damage or you can choose for restain. The other aspect of it that's pretty important is how Crow works. So Crow, basically, one of the weaknesses was how hard it could have been to stain in neutral. One, Succubus goes a lot farther. I think like before it would end where like Testament was standing. Now this is kind of important because not only does it increase the how far it goes, and also they increased how long it lasts, which you can see it's probably like a second longer. The reason why this is important is because it also counts for how far they go with Crow. So you can see now when you do this, it goes full screen, even at the lowest charge. This is very important. So like now it's a lot easier to stain at a distance. The other part that's very important is you can choose if you use the succubus or not. Which means there are some situations where essentially you could get out for free because of the angle, or like maybe the succubus was at a bad spot. But because of this, it means that they can always just choose to just send as is, which means you still have to RPS and guess what they're gonna do. So they have a lot more control about how you're gonna move too and what they want you to do. Now let's talk about my favorite thing. This shit does not drop anymore. Thank fucking God. This shit used to drop every time. Every single time. Now this shit does not drop at all. Thank fucking God. But now it means that they get a combo like this off of a lot of their like substantial hits, right? It's a lot. Now let's talk about how the system mechanics benefited them. First of all, like, they have a very good 2P and 5P, right? What only really matters is you can get 2P into this, right? This guarantees stain. So on any match, they get stain now. Oh, it's this. I guess that was what I was thinking of. What makes this important is that they get their curse from further. Before, this would basically not combo, or it would OTG you. And now they fixed that as well. Oh, because of how fast Crow is, you get combos off of this now. That's actually pretty good. I need to find like better ways to combo into it, but like there's one that I found with like this. 5K is like really, really good. 2K is especially very good now. But like I'll give you an example of how this basically is going to work. Right? 150 off of 2K from mid-screen. Quite good. There's also this, of course, which is a auto combo sort of thing, where like essentially if they block, you're plus, but if they get hit, you get a combo. Dash cancels are almost always going to be plus, just for the record. The way that they work, they proc the 23rd frame after it hits. So like it's rare that if you dash cancel it, you're probably going to be plus. We haven't even talked about how they changed like Age Fireball, which like this shit's fast as fuck now. Again, which matters because it's so easy for them to curse you. Right? In fact, if you do this in neutral against like, this is especially very powerful against slower characters, because you pretty much cannot avoid this now. I think they're gonna be pretty good. So if you're hoping for something substantial, Testament, then you know, big thumbs up. This is your day. It's also my day, I guess. I guess it's our day, huh? I want to talk about Millia. We have a little bit to talk about with her. So I didn't know how they would change Capel. How I think new Capel is basically means you have to treat her like she has pin again. Like her air game is going to be so much better now that basically you're going to have to know how to fight her, that otherwise she's going to smoke you. You know, she may benefit from the damage changes too. She may not. I don't know. She looks like very good. The Capel change is like, it's just super good. I don't really care about Capel like as is, like in terms of like the move, but what makes it strong is like how fast it is with the properties it has now. Because basically, if you're not familiar with old pin, it meant that you couldn't safely anti-air her, right? And I think that's basically the same idea they have with Capel. Risk reward is a little different with Capel, but it's still like same sort of idea. So from now on, I'm going to approach her kind of similarly to how I would in older games, and that means a lot more respect out of you know, how I move or how I like approach her, because if you do not, then she's gonna kill you. Leo, like I heard a lot of dooming about Leo, and like honestly, like his offense definitely did get nerfed. I don't know, to be honest with you, I think Leo will still be fine. It's just like you cannot be nearly as ignorant with him. Like he absolutely is gonna make you have to play like a specific way, and it's probably not gonna be that flail heavy. So like if you played Leo like before, where it's like high risk, high reward, like I'll just RPS, and if I'm right, then, you know, I knock down, run my shit, then you're probably not gonna be that consistent. Cause like, I think this into, flash kick into 2d6H is always punishable now, right? It's always throw punishable? That's what I heard. Let's see, is that true? That's a lie. Who lied to me? So, him scrambling with 2D is pretty rough. Wait, and obviously that's like -8 now, so most characters actually get a good punish on 2D, which means, again, a lot of the Leo playstyles are gone. Like, if you were very scramble heavy or you forced it, then you're gonna struggle. Yeah, sorry, the correction for what Leo has is it's spacing dependent. So, depending on spacing, it's throw punishable or not. So, like, you have to recognize that. But honestly, I don't care that much because of how Turbulence is. If Leo players don't have like a super solid foundation or like game plan, then I think they're gonna have a lot of trouble here. That's pretty much just it. Like, it's not like he's dead. A lot of people are talking about him like he's dead. It's just like you can't play the same way with him. That's all there is to it. I guess we could talk about Nago. In actuality, I thought maybe they would be like slight nerfs, but they actually just made his 2S faster if he's in blood, like the level 2 blood. This is like 10 frames, I think. So I think they're just like, depending on each blood level, it goes down a frame, is I think the idea. The only thing that I don't mind, or the only thing that to me matters, is this. That means it's a big deal. Though he can always still do this, it's still just more costly, right? Wait, really? Far S is 16, 14, 12? Holy fuck. That is fast. At least I was right that his offense is probably gonna be better. At least that's a thing now. Hotashi's gonna be happy, I bet.
Later, half of the move can now be cancelled into some special moves.
Ram I want to talk about a lot. The idea is, I guess, you just mash on 6P on Sword Ram, and it can always win, right? This is the idea that I think they're going with. We gotta practice this part. But basically the point is, they want her to do this. They want her to go into close slash 6H, right? This is the idea. The reason why this is noteworthy is because if she starts doing this, you have more outs with super and things like that, right? Things like that are guaranteed, right? Because 6H is about -15, I believe. It's 16 or around there. Basically, I think the idea is they want you to interact with her in that same way, which, like, if she has to interact in that way, I do not care. That's, like, very close to, like, how they changed Soul. Like, they didn't particularly, like, kill his offense, but they made it so it's more interactive, and as a result, like, I don't really care about Ram's offense as much anymore. I didn't really like it as much before, but basically to me this stabilizes it to the point where I don't really care about her as much anymore. The explosion nerf you can feel, especially when you micro dash out of the corner. So, like, essentially you just have better defensive options, which essentially that's what I expected. I expected you to be like you know, I expected you to be able to just RPS around it. Wait, I guess you could also just do that, huh? But I mean, that's not as good. Yeah, it's just an RPS situation. That's all there is to it. I don't remember her shit. Woo! Let's go! Those are like my two problems, and they got rid of her, so I'm fine with her. I don't care how strong she is. It's whatever to me now. One thing ArcSys did with these changes, they've made the characters weaker at lower level, but stronger at higher level. Is like a lot of how it works. Like, almost everyone is in that category. So, like, most of Faust's problems, they fixed them. In fact, he's actually probably one of the characters that benefits the most from RC changes. Now he's got a lot more buttons for, like, challenging you and, like, interacting with you. And his items are a lot better, right? Oh yeah, it's 2d6p. Like, oh yeah, I have it on Trumpet for... I think I did this to see how many I needed to crash the game, which should tell you what kind of training monster I am. In fact, like, honestly, most of the buffs to the characters make me think that the mid-range characters are probably going to be the stronger ones in this game. So, like Faust, Testament, Kai, you know, those types of characters are the ones I think may stand out as a first impression. Who else? Oh yeah, I was going to go over Baiken, I promise. I feel like Baiken is in the same category as Testament, because like, one, for us, like, I don't think they really needed to buff this. The fact that she gets stuff like this now is pretty important, because the fact that it's 9 frames means that, like, it's quite realistic that this interaction happens a lot, right? Now, the reason why this is important is she gets a lot of corner carry, right? And she gets a lot of damage. She gets like a guaranteed setup. The way that you want to pressure with Baiken already is like this, right? Where you space yourself and then you use 6K for like the later frames of the 6K to be active and plus. With the changes, you can see now she actually gets something kind of substantial off of it. In fact, I think in the corner she actually gets quite a bit, right? Again, like, this is really good for a jab. Like, that's really good. Her offense is probably going to be very, very, very strong in this version. I heard there was a stealth buff if you burst. You can see it removes the tether, so no more meme combos. And again, I didn't think she was that bad before. Just like needed some small changes. There's obviously the Yozansen change too, right? Which is like, it's like what, +5 now or something? It's like very plus. So now it doesn't matter, I think, the way you TK it. Yeah, and also this is plus, which it was kind of a big deal before, because like some characters could just RPS at you. So now that it's more stable, that's good. Honestly, Tether before kind of sucked because it was just like RPS around like, oh yeah, like, am I gonna backdash or not? And then what am I gonna do after I backdash if you know that I'm looking for backdash? Again, I think she benefits tremendously from like hit confirms like this. So the fact that she, again, has a 9-frame fire slash is very, very powerful. In fact, my opinion on Baiken is mostly like, probably how you fight her is you have to be a lot more like, you have to be a lot smarter about how you interact with her and how you you challenge her. You can't just like swing like mindlessly at her anymore, or like she's gonna be able to kill you for it. We'll talk about Kyle. Right, so Kai basically, like, I think that everyone's hype about his it's this shit. This is like a plus R combo. Alright, here's my Kai combo. Put it in the trial. They buffed his Fire Slash. Honestly, that's the thing I'm most offended about. This move is really good. So like, I'm kind of shocked they buffed the hurtbox on it. A lot of his shit is probably like just still really good with how the RC changes, right? I think like he's probably one of the characters that benefited the most. Yeah, it's gapless if you stand block. So already you can see I'm mashing. I'm fucking, oh my god, you get counter hit. That's a frame trap though. Okay, that's a problem. So you have to crouch. Am I right? Yeah, okay. This shit is cheap. Look at how fast this motherfucker is. It's still like, you know, honestly, I think it won't be as relevant because like he still has to be in low health. So I don't think it'll be as big of a deal, but it could be, right? Like, it depends on like how good it is. I mean, look at how much chip this shit does. It is not terrible. Oh yeah, oh my god, I forgot how much chip this does. Look at this shit. I would assume that if you had 100 meter and was low enough health and you were at like, let's say like maybe 20%, he would essentially, I think he may get the same sort of win condition as like someone like Happy Chaos, where he can just like chip you out and just keep burning shit until like he gets you to the point where he chips you out. Because again, like it's even like off Fireball, it's quite high. But yeah, like it looks fine to me. I mean, like people are probably gonna use it after like in some knockdown situations. But like that's it. I think like it looks good, but like I think a lot of people are like evaluating it. Like it's gonna be good, but like it's not gonna be game changing. I think the other changes are more relevant for him. The problem is you need a certain amount of health. So like, it's a little different, right? Okay, we'll talk about May. People really want me to talk about May. So, a lot of people are doomed because of 3K. I can tell you already, after we touched on Soul, I don't even need to look at this character to know that she still does damage. In fact, she probably has more damage than before. But like, she's, again, probably less stable. Like, she's probably not as consistent in like neutral as a result. I think like the change with Dolphin where you can hold it, right? You can hold it and either go further, right? I think that's an okay change, but like I don't think it matters that much. I don't see where this would change outside of maybe routes, which again, it may matter. But like the big RC, yeah, the red RC change is gonna be a fucking problem. Especially with like this, like May has like one of the better 5Ks in the game, so if she uses like 5K counter hits really well, or like meter really well, then that's a problem, right? Take on the Anji Doomers. You know, I think one of the best examples, I don't even need to do this, was Yoshi. Do you see Yoshi was like, oh yeah, I can't believe they ruined my character again. And then like he made a tweet saying like, oh, I played the game and he's actually not that bad. He's actually a lot better than I thought. I think a lot of Anji players are forgetting that like this option was like, you could not use this option in like some matchups basically, right? Like they fixed this, right? Why is no one hype over this? Because he lost damage? I think just be happy he even got to keep his damage in the first place. I think like the code change is definitely kind of cursed. But like he's still doing damage. His pressure's a lot better, and I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? All the Anji players out there, you might as well don't even worry about like how good he is. It doesn't even matter anymore, right? Because where Anji is, right? It doesn't matter if he's top 1 or bottom 1, because at this point you have to interact with him, and no one knows how the fuck to defend against Anji at all. No one understands how to fight this character. So like everyone just crutched on DPing like Fujin, so now that you can't, I mean like who here actually knows how to fight this character? Like tell me what you do against each option and how you OS it. Trick question. I realized like they may have nerfed his damage, but they made his offense better. They made him more stable. Isn't this what everyone wanted? You cannot just keep buffing a character like Anji like every other character either. That's like the thing about his design, right? It's very important to understand that. It's very important to understand it. He is designed to like bait people into doing things. So if he just like does things too well, then he's gonna be kind of cursed. And I want to talk about this real quick because I feel like a lot of people didn't understand this. You could make Far S, like for example, Far S, 30 damage to 10, right? 30 damage to 10. But his damage would still be pretty much the same because of risk, right? Like, risk is basically the thing that molds everything together here. And in fact, for characters like Anji, you know, Soul, probably not Soul anymore, but like other characters, it's like the risk is what you're playing around. It's not just purely like the raw damage of the move. Like the fact that they made his offense more stable means it's a lot better, right? Yeah, damage scaling is a bigger nerf. Oh yeah, they buffed his this as well, right? They did. But yeah, like basically I think he's gonna be fine. We just need to optimize him for the same way. Oh yeah, so her thing is she does like Hala chip now, right? I heard so much dooming about Chio. I don't really know why, but like yeah, her thing is now that she chips you for a good amount when she has a lot of meter like this, right? Things like this are a lot stronger than I think a lot of people give it credit for, because essentially you are getting damage without committing, right? Like you're essentially doing your regular shit and you're getting damage out of it. It's what makes like characters like Nago a little more cursed than they normally be, because you cannot just like rely on like wait him out, because he will chip you out if you just wait him out, right? So I would be surprised if like she was actually like bad, but like for sure, I mean, she probably did get nerfed. The 2D change is the one I didn't understand. It was like there's like set hitbox or some shit. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they just made it so it can't hit you after a certain point. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I would like to know what this change is. When anyone can explain what this is, what this change was, I would like to know. Nothing changed, it just lip surfaced. Damn, you really have a low opinion of Arxis, huh? I'm not even that down bad about Arxis. that is down bad.